Alrighty. So today we're going to start with, let's go over our schedule really quickly. We're going to start with fluency, then we're going to do our reread, reading, writing, and word study. And then we go to inquiry, okay? We got to get all of this done before we can go to inquiry, okay? Alrighty. So we're going to start with our fluency. I'm going to help you open this first.
Are you excited or?
No, I'm going to take it down. Okay, so we're going to start with our fluency. We read this yesterday. Remember, we read the poem to the song "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Remember we did that? So maybe we could try and do that again. We're going to work on really focusing on the way we're reading. Okay, so we're going to read like we're having a conversation, but in this case, we're going to read to the sound of the song, right? So I'm going to show you how to do it. Remember, we start. Ready?
Take me under the bathtub, take me under the suds. I've been here soaking since 2:30. I feel so silly and wrinkly I washed all over my body, my head, my toes. In between, I used 1, 2, 3 pairs of soap. Take me out. I'm clean. Take me out of the bathtub. I'm stuck here with my toys, dump truck, and squeakers. Think great, but I better take off my roller skates, 'cause each time I get up, I wobble. I hold on, but it's a pain. I tried once, twice, 3 times to stand better. Crinkle.
Try that one again.
Crane.
Okay, good. So I noticed that you went back and you reread some of the words when you realized that it didn't sound right and you kept reading. That was a really good job. We'll keep working on this, right? Maybe maybe tomorrow I'll play the song "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" before we read it again, so we can hear what it really sounds like, and then we can practice reading the words to the song. Okay?
Okay.
All right, you want to rip fluency off there? Done. Right, next, rereading. So today, we're going to reread a page out of our book, Midnight on the Moon, that we've been reading. Okay, and we finished chapter 1, so when we read today, we're going to be reading a new book. But for right now, we're going to reread a page out of here. We're going to reread a page out of here, and I'm going to listen to you read. Okay, so whenever you're ready, you can start at the top of the page, and you're just going to read the whole page.
And gasp. We're going to the moon? How's that said? How was not? Said Jack. it's impossible to go to the moon without tons of equipment. Why? Because there's nowhere we could breathe. Not only that, we need without time. It was day and freeze to death. If it was night, yikes, said Annie. So where do you think we're going? You're going. Maybe a place where people train to be an astronaut, said Jack. That sounds neat, said Annie. Yay, said Jack. She'd always wanted to meet astronauts and space and satellites.
Are you all set? Yeah. Okay. I'm excited to hear this.
So,
what
said
we're gonna
Vicky.
do is you're
So
gonna
I
do this,
wish,
and anytime you notice you use dialogue, I want you to point
So
it out
said,
and show me how you did it.
say the wish,
Could you write about the
said
queen?
Annie.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out the queen.
Jack opened
So do you
the
remember,
book
so do you guys
again.
remember that queen story?
He
We're going
pointed to
but
a
then
page
the queen
of
was on the page with the
dome
Then he said, hi queen, what are you doing?
door.
The queen screamed and cried. The dinosaur said, so what I did was,
Wish
is you know where that
we
little
could
page like
go
that means she's
there,
talking.
he
So
said.
are you talking about quotation mark?
Very good. Okay, we're gonna stop right there.
That's something, right? That is
Do you
fun
remember
stuff.
reading that yesterday?
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Mhm.
scare you.
So, one thing that
The queen
I
thought-
want
the queen thought,
to show you
talking. It's okay.
is
the queen said.
right here at the beginning, very beginning of when you were reading.
How are you talking?
You read, Annie gasped, we're going to the moon? I noticed that you read that like a question. You read it with expression
That's
like a
what-
question.
That's all of this.
Yeah. When we ask questions, our eyes kind of do funny things too. But your voice also got higher. You said, we're going to the moon? So you
What did you do
used
there? I saw you use one of the words.
you
that
used
we
your
talked about.
language to show that you were asking a question. That was
Not this I
So
look
what I
at this
did is
one.
what
I'm gonna like this one. Okay.
yeah, because when you said
Regular word.
so when
That was the same when I wore the Anakin Skywalker mask.
you could do funny things with your eyes. I wish I could.
yeah.
So that was a great job
And,
using expression and
so what I
using the
did
question
was
mark
I
to know how you had to read the sentence. Okay, so keep doing that when you read.
And then I put
Another thing I want to point out to you is here.
Okay, so you use this one.
When you looked at this word, Alexander, look here, please.
Dialogue in it,
Right where I'm pointing.
he was thinking about something.
Look where I'm pointing.
Yes,
In the book.
that's the inner
Right here.
dialogue, right? really like how you made sure.
when you came to this word, you saw STR and you said stir, and then you skipped the word because you didn't really know what it was. So let's look at this word really quick. Remember, we can use our strategy of breaking the words up into smaller parts to help us figure out what they are, right? So let's look at this word really quick. You started, look at the word with me. You started saying, what are these three letters? Stir.
Or we can do like something else with the
You
And I
see.
will type that up later today.
Struck.
Structure.
I thought we had a
Structor. What word does that kind of sound like? Like structure, right. So if we look at the word structure, it says he pointed to a picture of a dome-shaped structure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does it sound right? And does it look like the word structure? Yeah, so we can use whether it makes sense, whether it sounds right, and whether it looks right to check to make sure we're right when we try and figure out words that we don't know. Okay? Great job. Okay, so we're going to put this book to the side for now. Remember we talked about that yesterday? So we're going to start a new book today.
I was just looking at the Invisible Boy.
Oh, you were looking at that book over there? You want to read it?
I feel like I want to look at the pages.
Oh, it looks like a good book to you? So, funny you say that because this is the book I picked out for us to read today. Yeah? What do you like about the cover since you were looking at it?
The boy drawing.
The boy drawing. Why do you like that he's drawing?
Why? What's a girl?
Before we start this, do you want
What's a girl?
to take rereading off our schedule? Want to take rereading off our schedule since we just finished that? And now it's time for,
Invisible Boy.
yep, Invisible Boy reading. Okay, so before we start, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book. Okay, so today we're going to be reading this book. It's called The Invisible Boy, and the
He's
author
drawing
is,
a boy, but just as in it's invisible.
he is drawing, but we don't know what he's drawing yet, do we?
The Invisible Boy. The chalk.
So it's by Trudy Ludwig, that's the author. Okay, so this book is actually about
Is
a,
that the one that made the book?
yep, the author's the one who writes the words. The illustrator is Patrice Barton. So that's who does what?
What can they be?
Makes the book.
The author writes the words. What does the illustrator do?
Well, then you must move in with me.
Do you know?
Live with you. Live with a ghoul.
Shows titles.
The illustrator draws the pictures. So the person that wrote the words is Trudy Ludwig. The person that draws the picture is Patrice Barton. Okay? So a little bit about this book. This book is about a boy named Brian.
I think I'll
Okay.
try another.
Why do you think it's called Invisible? The Invisible
Looks
Boy.
more like Braden from How Many Hill.
Why?
From where?
Thank you.
How many
but I'd
hill?
rather
What's
not.
that?
A piece of bread with.
Is that another book you've read?
No, it's a school right behind my
Well, have a picnic.
cousin Kay's.
Oh, so he looks like a boy that that you've seen at that school.
Dish.
This
And then when both
This
of
school.
us are through, you'll
Oh.
come to me.
So you're connecting it to a boy that
and
you
this team is Dunkin' Donuts.
So I like how you
from
were
baseball.
paying attention after I showed you that.
Oh, so you think he looks like a boy that you've seen in your real life? That's
When
pretty
I play
cool.
and read, he's in Ben sketchy. He thinks he's going to a private school.
But when you ask
Oh.
the question, are you?
Well, maybe he is. I guess you'll have to see when the school year comes, huh? All right. So what do you think it means, the Invisible Boy? What do you think this story is going to be about, just from looking at the cover?
So I'll start off.
When you're done drinking your milk.
Okay.
I don't know what I think is going to happen.
Why? What's a
I
ghoul?
think he's going to use a truck and then just going to draw something on the ground like a
That must be
chosen
a scary sight.
on it.
It's even worse.
Okay.
Why
So what
I
do you
go
think the
fast,
Invisible
I
Boy
hunt
means?
corpses.
Think of
It
that.
means that
And I do other things as well.
it's a boy, but it's
Too terrible to
invisible.
tell.
And is he invisible, or is what he's drawing invisible?
What can they be?
Awful
What he's
things.
drawing. Okay. So as we
I'd like to
read.
see.
Well, then you
Let's
must move in with
let's
me.
try and read to see if our predictions are true. So we'll read to see if what you thought is what really happens in this book. And one thing that I do want you to pay attention to as we read is I want you to pay attention to the different characters that we get introduced to. There's going to be a lot of characters that show up in this book. But we're going to focus on the boy Brian, okay? And what we're going to focus on is his feelings and how he feels in this book and how his feelings might change throughout the story, okay? So we're going to focus on Brian and how his feelings might change throughout the story. Okay, you want to take a bite of your bagel before we start reading? And then I'm going to
I
use your
cannot get over
paper
how
towel
well
to
you
kind
read
of...
that. You must be so proud of yourself.
Very proud of you. I was so thrilled to hear that.
All right.
Alright, now it's time to listen back.
Okay, so let's put that to the side for now, and then we can finish it after we're done reading. Sound good? Okay. All right, The Invisible Boy. You excited to read this book? Whenever you're finished chewing, okay?
Okay.
And this is his teacher, okay? And I want to show you his teacher's name is right here. It's Mrs. Carlotti. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so begin reading when you're done chewing.
I'm chugging out and she's eating her hand.
Yeah, those are good observations. So we can use the words to help us understand exactly what the pictures are telling us. So maybe it'll talk about what they're doing in the picture and the words too.
See, Ryan, invisible boy. He is an invisible boy.
So was his drawing invisible or he was the invisible boy?
He was the invisible boy because I was wrong. He is an invisible boy.
And that's okay, right? We make predictions and sometimes they're not true. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes the author thinks something different.
He has the same ability like Ninja Star from Ninja Star or from Stardite.
He has the same power. I wish I could be invisible. Let's keep reading to see what they mean by invisible boy.
Cannot get over that.
Look right here.
So do you like doing them when we read it back and forth like that? And
Even
also,
this
we were both so fluent. One, you
Lord,
almost sound like and two, if we didn't have different voices, you
trouble
would think it's the
noticing.
same person reading it back and forth, right? Because it
And
flows so
here,
nicely.
classroom.
Alright, you can check that off the list.
He's too busy even
Next is
with nothing.
Okay, so let's look at these words really quick. Remember, we can break it apart.
Nathan.
Nathan, very good. And what sound does PH
I
make?
know that's a book because it says because it's
You know what sound PH makes? Right. So let's start from the beginning.
Nathan Dan. So five.
Sophie. Have you ever heard anybody named Sophie?
No.
Have you ever heard anybody named Sophie?
Yeah, and selfie.
So Nathan and Sophie. So his teacher, Mrs. Carlotti, doesn't even notice Brian.
I heard a voice. It sounds like my brother Eric's here.
Oh. I don't think you see her yet. Maybe he'll come later when your mom and dad picks you up. Okay, you want to keep reading?
Of course. What am I
Okay, well this page is done, so what do we need to do?
I gotta get my food done for the party.
There we go.
And we're going. Yep, and we're going to eat today. And I don't know. We might go to my grandma's house.
Okay, so remember something about this book is when we read, we always read from top to bottom. So there might be words on the bottom, but we have to make sure we start at the top,
We do like.
and we're going to read the words that are at the top first. Okay, so right here, Alexander.
We went there yesterday.
Go ahead.
See
You are
there.
going to start reading. You're going to start with L. Okay?
Start reading up here.
Wines and
Oh, remember at the top of the page,
Nathan
yes.
has problems with what Mrs. Cutler.
You want to tell me to go?
Look at the word. How can we figure out this word?
Oh, please.
What can
All
we
you
do?
do is stop around and
Character.
Remember when I always take my finger and I break it apart?
growl at
You can do that too on your own, right? Let's look at this word. Break it apart.
Even
What do you
teachers.
see?
I have not seen one person do
I
anything
see.
bad to you since you got here.
Not one.
Car.
Three medals.
Car.
That means words were
Car.
sharp. That's needles. And
Look at
if
the
you felt
word,
like
okay?
they
Focus on the
believed
word.
that she had
You saw
just
car first, then what's the second part?
all the air came
Start from this letter.
out. And instead of looking angry, Free just
Car, lot, T.
saw it
Carlotti.
and
Cars.
ran. I don't know,
Volumes.
said Free in a tired voice. I'm mad at my folks. At my dad.
Uses this
He lost his job and made
outside voice inside
and I had
too
and I
much.
had to live.
Sophie whines
Have to
and
leave all my friends behind.
lands when, but no, she doesn't get her way. Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space. Brian doesn't.
What do you think that means?
So, that was really good. You know what I
That's
noticed?
because Brian is invisible.
Made me so happy. You read
He is
so much
invisible.
expression. And where
Did the author tell us yet what that means?
So
That
I
he's
love
invisible?
that what you're taking in one part of the lesson, you're putting into another. That's what we're supposed to do, right? All these things we can use at different times. You can use it when you're in school, when you're in the tutor group. That was awesome.
Alexander, has the author told us what that means when she says Brian's invisible? No.
So now you know.
Let's keep reading. Maybe we'll find out.
You gotta read.
When the
Expression.
bell rings
Maybe
for recess,
after Sunday, they read with a lot.
Marsha
Now, I want to
and JT
this word.
take turns choosing kids for their
You said
kickball team.
right here.
Then
Right here. Remember, we're going to read this page first
So you said
and
brown.
then this page. So we'll start from the top and make our way to the bottom. You were here, now you're here.
It's because you're just paying attention to the story.
the
Is you'll look at the first letter
best
and then you won't read the whole.
players
It's like glare, growl.
get
And it kind of makes sense. You
picked
gotta use
first.
So when you put growl at someone, when you're reading, you
when
want to make sure that
then
all
the
parts of the word, okay? That
best
way,
friends
get the right
of
word.
the
And if you said something like any
of the best players, then the friends
vowel
of
that's
the
someone, go to the
best friends only Brian
So we want to make sure that we're reading all
is
the way through
left
the words.
still waiting and hoping.
You think Brian's going to get picked?
No.
Uh-oh. Here, let's keep reading. Reading and not skipping pages.
Sometimes I forget things. All right, so my first question is, why do you think the author
classes
used the phrase?
in Brian's
Felt like they're balloon.
Brian
Just like the whole, like supplies.
ears
So when a balloon gets inflated, all the air comes out and they kind of like,
just
they go oh. What do you think it felt like when he was telling Diana why he's been so upset?
quickly.
People influencing them. Sad. Sad. And when you feel sad, you kind of feel like you kind of just right? That's how you feel. So when you see a balloon, all the air comes out of them. Finally, all this anger gets
away
right. He told someone, he's like, okay, I feel so much better now that I told
enough
someone, right?
players
And
for
now that
each
we know
team.
why Free, now that we know
He
this, why do you think
tells
Free
the
we know that
others,
he's mad because of that?
let's
Because
play ball.
when he
What
has
happened
a friend,
here?
it feels like he has like
What just
friends
happened
that-
on this page?
Well, in his town,
that
yeah.
they're playing ball.
And
Well, they were picking
also,
teams
it
for,
feels
look,
great
let's look
when you
back.
tell somebody
They were picking teams for kickball on this page, right? And then what do you notice in the pictures on this page?
because
Ryan's walking
he,
away,
Ryan's walking
maybe in
away, and
his
what are
head
they
he
doing?
keeps, like,
quiet
thinking of his
because
dad.
he's invisible.
He,
Because he's
like
invisible.
eliminated
Hey.
In the cafeteria,
So you think that the reason why
Madison and her friend talked about her birthday party.
Dad, maybe he's thinking about
Got
his
him.
dad.
The rope swing off the pool was awesome. So it was awesome.
Ooh, why did you just read it like that? What did you notice? What's that?
So like,
Ooh, so you noticed that you have to read it with expression, right? So you reread.
just like diamond.
You reread it with expression. That was a good, great job. I'm just gonna close the door really quick, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, Ashley, and she's not grounded and tidy, but for you,
Are you looking at yourself?
Mhm.
Alright. So they're talking about her birthday party. Let's see.
yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Yes, it was the
Not growling or pushing anybody.
water slide. And as I'm,
The list,
I don't know,
Fiona.
Fiona,
what do we have next?
the
Oh,
that
yep.
that
And
was
then reading.
the best pool party ever.
Make sure you read all the words on the page.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get all the words on this page?
What's going on? Do you want a blue or a black marker?
I'm so glad
I won't.
you guys had fun, says
Alright, so you already know
Madison.
what
Everybody
we did
did
yesterday.
except Brian.
Find some words.
He wasn't invisible.
Wasn't
Invited.
invited. Why don't we think Brian was invited?
Invisible.
Because he's invisible. Now the author's not telling us what she means by the invisible boy, is she?
Neighborhood. Good job.
No.
So this is a
No,
really
she's not.
long
So what do we think it
one. So we
means?
really gotta use
that
our
he's
class to
invisible.
find all the syllables,
Is he
okay?
really invisible? Can people not see him?
Yeah.
People can't see him?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to stop right here. Okay, so we need to move on to writing and then word study so we can go to inquiry group. Okay, so what do you think about this book so far?
Good.
Good? What do you mean
It
by...
shows Brian as a dragon.
So you like the pictures in this book, don't you? I see you looking at the pictures a lot. And we'll talk about the pictures too next time. What do you notice about Brian in the pictures?
3, 4.
That he says I'm standing there.
In all the pictures, so he's standing there. He's still standing there, you're right. Do you notice anything different about Brian compared to all the other kids in the pictures?
Invisible and he's gray and dark.
He's gray and dark, so that kind of helps us tell that he's invisible, right?
Mhm.
Why do you think the author wrote a book about an invisible boy?
You're gonna do some reading. Now yesterday we found out
Can
some
show
information
invisible.
about Free, right? What did we find out about him?
So
About
she
talking
can show
about
us
his
invisible
dad
people?
to moving
that what you
into
said?
town and why he's so
Okay, so tomorrow we're going to keep reading this book, okay? And maybe the author will tell us a little bit more about
like
why he's
best
invisible or
friends
how
because
he's invisible.
he got all
Remember at the
that,
beginning I
like,
said we're
air
going to
out
focus on
from
how the
him
characters were
and
feeling,
some
how
type
Brian
of
was
way
feeling.
with
How do you think
having
Brian's
friends.
feeling so far throughout the book? How can we tell how he's feeling?
Sad.
He's sad? Why do you...
Confused.
Sad and confused? Why do you think that?
So we're gonna start right at
From this picture? What happened in this? What did the text tell us that happened
Okay.
for him to be sad in this picture?
I got
Do you
it.
remember?
No more players.
They didn't pick him. There were no more players left to pick.
People
Do you think they could have added him onto a team
free
though?
side. I guess
Yeah.
They could have, right?
Of
Why
course
didn't
he
they?
did. I
Because he
always-
was
I always
invisible.
said Diamond. The
So he's
way she
invisible.
said it made
So we're going to keep reading this tomorrow and we're going to figure out really what the author means by invisible boy.
be mad.
We're going to keep focusing on how
because
Brian
she's telling
feels
me that
throughout the book.
It's not their fault that you go to your dad.
Hey, look, he's 9.
So I see you looking at the pictures.
Yes.
Okay, well the pictures tell us a lot in this story, so let's save this for Tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
What is your
I'll
name?
put a little post-it right where we left off,
Diamond.
right here with the dragon page.
His name's Free. He just, wait, did she just say it?
Okay, and we're gonna switch to writing.
But he said it to her.
Okay. We're gonna do a different kind of writing today. Okay, we're gonna start something new. Yes.
Now go to the bathroom.
Yes. Quickly. Okay.
Diamond with a Y instead of a I. Plus an E. Got it? Now I have a question about that. Do you remember the last chapter how
Okay, so why don't you take reading off our schedule?
that people notice that he's
And now it's
I
time
think
for
it had
writing.
anything to do with his name and what you just said there.
Okay. So today we're gonna
Because
start a
it's
new
kinda
kind
like
of writing.
writing,
So
except
far
it-
we've wrote
So it's kind of like
an opinion piece, right? Remember we wrote about whether or not whether or not cats or dogs make better pets. Today we're gonna write what's called a personal narrative. Okay? Have you ever written a personal narrative before?
So I just used free
No?
free
Okay, so this I made a little chart for us so that we can always remember the important parts of a personal narrative.
I'll read.
So a personal narrative, why don't you look along with me?
Don't.
The purpose is to tell a story about an experience,
Diamond.
an event, or series of events from your life in the form of a story.
Call you what?
Okay, so important parts of a personal narrative are the setting. Do you remember what the setting is?
Gotta get this.
Remember we were talking about that when we were reading?
Before it gets cold.
Yeah.
See ya.
Do you remember what it means?
Diamond took a few steps.
No.
A setting is where the
see,
story
we're getting
takes
along.
place. Okay? So there's going to be a
Okay.
setting. There's going to be somewhere where the story happens. There's going to be characters. You want to make sure you include characters, how they're feeling, and their thoughts, right? So using dialogue,
Quiet.
so quotes that say what they're saying out loud. There's going to be a beginning, a middle, and an end.
It.
And we're also going to
Oh,
use transition
being so
words.
touchy.
So we're going to use words like first,
Touchy about
next,
your name.
last.
The diamond believe.
Okay?
I
So we've
heard
been
the
working
word.
on
With that, Diamond ran to her
our
building and
our writing stamina, right? So yesterday we were kind of editing, so we didn't really do a lot of writing. So today we're going to look at our graph again. So let's set a goal right now. On Monday, how many minutes did you write for on Monday?
Sorry, we're gonna keep reading because there's only a few pages left.
2.
Okay.
2 minutes on Monday. So let's set a new goal for today. How many minutes do you think we can write?
Tuesday.
Yesterday was Tuesday.
He's
We didn't really get to writing yesterday. We were doing a little bit of editing yesterday.
did
Remember, we were going through looking for capitals and periods.
Mhm.
So we're going to skip Tuesday, we're going to go to Wednesday, because today's Wednesday. So what goal do you want to set for today? How many minutes do you want to write for today?
Look at the words
You did 2 on Monday, so how many? You
3.
want to try 3 today? Okay, so we'll put this to the side, and we'll come back to it after we write, so that we can graph how many minutes we wrote for. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you what we're going to do. Today we're going to brainstorm. Okay, do you know what it means to brainstorm?
stuff right there.
No.
So we're going to think of ideas that we might want to include in our writing. Okay, so a personal narrative is a story about something that you've done. What did you just do recently? You went somewhere really cool.
Hayes said
And
Diamond.
you didn't.
With a watch.
You went to Great Wolf Watch?
Last time.
Where did you go just the other day?
Said Free.
Guess
Diamond
You went to Great Escape. You did a lot of things at Great Escape, right? So do you think maybe that would be a good topic to write about?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm just going to show you on our whiteboard what I mean, okay? So we're going to create what's called a word web. Okay? You went to Great Escape. I went last year to Hershey Park. So I'm going to use that as an example to help get us thinking of ideas or brainstorming ideas that we can use in our writing, okay?
You see it?
So look along with me. Look at this board.
So it doesn't look like.
So in the middle, I'm going to write Hershey Park. 'Cause that's where I went, right? And that's what my story is mainly going to be about. And then it's going to be, I can break this into little events that happened at Hershey Park.
And faced everyone who was
Alexander, look here,
staring
please.
in her direction.
What are you doing with your eyes?
Cat got
Are you crossing them like that?
No.
Yeah, like you can't say it or something right.
Cat took her time.
Okay, so look.
Yeah.
Hershey Park.
Each person
At Hershey Park, I made my own
No
chocolate
one
bar.
did. They
So
all
I'm
just
gonna
turned
write
away and went back to
made.
their lunch.
Why do you think everyone was like, stop?
You need to
and
focus,
staring
please,
at
or else you're not gonna know what to do. Made chocolate
Because
bar.
I
That's
think,
gonna
like,
be
they're
another
crazy.
circle, and
Why
I'm
would
gonna
you
connect
bring
it to
that
Hershey
to,
Park.
onto this-
I also went on a
Well,
roller
she didn't
coaster
bring him to
called
I never knew there were roller coasters at Hershey Park.
Yeah. called Fahrenheit.
Oh, so, okay.
So I'm gonna circle that, and I'm gonna
There
connect it.
can be a roller coaster
Because
at
she's
the Great Escape as well.
There could be.
Comment.
because maybe
Yeah, there
she
could
Even
be.
there was supernova.
Yeah, so you save your ideas
Extreme
about
supernova.
you save your ideas about Great Escape for when you do this too. So
There
I'm
was
just showing.
bobsled. It's a water thing.
Oh, really? That sounds really cool. You should include all of those great ideas in your writing. Okay, so I'm just showing you mine. This is just an example, okay, of how you're gonna do it. So Hershey Park, I made a chocolate bar. I went on Fahrenheit. I saw a 3D show,
I would be like, I don't know about this.
and one more thing. What else did I do?
Can I have some of your
Ooh, I made this really
fries,
cool
Axe
bracelet.
Diamond?
Well, I got it made, and they engraved my name into
You really don't care
a
what
leather
people
bracelet.
think? About what? About sitting
Got
with me?
a
About anything?
Leather
Why should I? Axe
bracelet.
Diamond, I know what I think.
So do you see how I'm doing this here?
Free just shook his head.
I made what's called
Do
a word
things
map,
or not
or
do things
we have a little bit
just
we
'cause
have
somebody else
short
thinks
ideas
you
on
should.
here. So did I include full sentences on here?
There's
Look,
No.
did I include full?
dumb-
Is 3D show a full sentence?
No.
Fahrenheit a full sentence?
B.
Mm-mm. I'm just including little ideas that'll help me remember what I want to write about when I go to actually write them in my writer's notebook, right?
Right.
A-
Okay. So I showed you how to do this.
You're paying attention.
So let's try.
That's
How about we try this
silly.
together
Anyway,
with your ideas?
anyways,
How does that
can
sound?
I get a
Instead of
couple
doing it on the whiteboard though, because the whiteboard erases, so we're not going to have it tomorrow. I'm going to leave this as a model here for us to look at. And you're going to do yours in your notebook. So you want to grab your notebook?
the plate of fries for
Grab your notebook.
Diamond and was quite
Are you tired?
for
Me
a
too.
long while.
Let's look at this one.
Okay.
This was
Wait for
quite
a long while, does that sound right? And then
quiet.
Okay, so let's try it
For a
together.
long
Let's
while.
find our
She
new
should
a new
be
page in
a lot
here.
to think of.
So right here. So do you want to have it this way or do you want to turn your notebook this way?
They're gonna turn
This
to
way.
friends.
This way?
friends
All right. So
because
I had my
because
Hershey
they
Park
shave
in the
their
middle.
fries
What are
and
you going to put in the middle of yours?
So kind of.
What did you say?
Great Escape.
Yup.
Describing.
So why don't you do that on your
I
own?
described her as confident because she doesn't care what people think. So what I want you to do for your response to this reading is I want you to write about what you think, how you would describe Diamond and why.
Like for a picture.
We're gonna draw, or we're gonna write it, okay? So you're gonna describe.
Okay. And then we can put that in a little circle, right?
Describe her and why, and you can go back into the text and you can use examples to explain why.
See how I did it?
Sound good?
Yeah, put in a little
And
circle.
then after that, time for inquiry.
Okay. Now I want you to come up with either 3 or 4 things that you did at Great Escape that you would want to talk about in your writing. Okay, remember I did that on mine?
This, 'cause I need to
Now you're gonna
say-
try that.
Definitely.
Okay? So you don't have to tell me. You try it on your own, okay?
also have something to add, but I wanted to say it to you,
Okay.
not write it. So let's do this one first, because I think it's really good about what I'm going to say. I think Diamond's
So how's it
feeling
going?
nice and kind to Free. A lot.
Good.
A lot. And I
You can do
think
3 or
it's
4?
going to get a lot.
Now, why do you think, can you use an example?
Looks like
for
you're
the
doing
text
4.
that Diamond is feeling
One more
nice
idea?
and kind to Free?
Because she's sharing her fries with it, and she's sitting with him and telling him how it kind of feels like if you ignore people or just don't care about what they think, you kind of feel kind of happy and changeable.
Now, one thing that was a really good point, because it definitely was really nice that she went and sat with him at lunch, since he normally sits alone, right? Now, the one thing I just want to show you is, Diamond isn't giving Free her fries, she's giving Free, or she's taking some fries from Free, because she's right
Oh.
here, can I have some of your fries, ask Diamond, and then, what is it, says that Free,
Oh, wait, I think it's right here. Oh, yeah, it's right there.
Free pushed the plate of fries towards Diamond, so just when you're reading, you want to pay attention to that, but I think
Did you finish your ideas?
If you were to go and sit down with someone,
Okay, so you want to tell me about what you wrote?
that'd be a pretty nice thing to do, right?
Okay. Comment.
I just forgot
Wave
what
pool.
I'm saying.
Tornado. Mine
Oh,
car.
yeah, I was
Mine
gonna
car,
say
what's
that.
that?
The
Maybe
roller
all this
coaster.
friendship
okay.
in their life
So what's
might
tornado?
change their life a little bit.
Tank.
Maybe.
The,
I think it might change your
Water
life.
slide.
Because maybe
Okay,
The
so-
lifeguard's
maybe-
called tornado because
maybe
it's
Diamond will
tornado
forget
since
the divorce
the
about
water
mom
slide
and dad
is shaped as a
and think
tornado.
about friendship and maybe Free.
So
So
it's
what's just
shaped?
It's
Like
not
the
that bad
wind,
making
like
friends.
except it's yellow and blue. Like the lifeguard pushes you down into 4 tubes, but there can be 3 people.
Not
Like
really the best that are
you go
happening
down
in your
like
life, right?
woo, then go all the way down and then then all the way down.
Oh, so you sit in a tube and you go down, and it looks like a tornado, so it kind of looks
It
like
is
this?
a tornado.
Oh, it is a tornado, okay. So, just like you explained tornado to me, and you used a lot of details to explain it to me, that's how you're going to do your writing too, okay? So good writers include a lot of details, and when they write, the reason we use details is we want our readers, when they're reading our writing, to really understand what we're talking about, right? So if you wrote something like, I went on tornado with a water slide at Great Escape, do you think people are going to know what that means? Are they going to be able to see what that water slide looks like in their head?
No.
Mm-mm. So we need to give a lot of details, right? So that our readers can understand exactly what we're trying to tell
Next
them.
morning when Diamond came
Okay, so
downstairs,
we brainstormed a lot of
she
great
found Free on
ideas.
his stoop
So
waiting
Great Escape is going to be our main topic.
for her.
And I want, maybe we could try writing a book.
The
Would
way
you like that?
he did.
Write a book
before.
about Great Escape?
But
And then
she was
these,
still
your comet, tornado, minecart, and water pool could all be
looking.
chapters in our book, right?
Right.
They can all be different ideas.
So we'll pick up on this tomorrow,
Oh,
okay?
so it looks like we're out of time. Okay, so we're gonna pick up right where we left off tomorrow, and we're gonna pick up, look, we're gonna pick one idea to write about tomorrow.
And we're not
Okay,
done with
and we're
it. I'm
gonna-
just checking after
We're gonna
that.
focus on that one idea, and then after we're done with that, we can do another one. Sound good?
Yep.
Alright, great job today.